greatest day I've ever known. I can't wait to talk about what exactly it is we're talking about here today, because this is the best day to be a Vancouver Canucks fan in weeks. Months even. It's been months. We haven't had any good days for Vancouver Canucks fans in months. What was the last good day, huh? Game 6 against Vegas? That was, how long was that ago? I don't even remember. 2 months ago? Yeah, it's been months. So, the reason I say that this is the best day to be a Vancouver Canucks fan is because, first off, I'm recording this video the night of November 12th, Thursday, so it's not actually November 13th yet, even though this video is going to be uploaded on November 13th. But today, we had ourselves probably the most positive news we have seen in a very long time. No more getting cucked by the Golden Knights in 1-0 losses in the Game 7s. No more losing out on all of our good players in free agency because we manage our assets improperly. No more worrying about the salary cap, because for once this kind of news doesn't really matter in that regard. We're in a position here where the Vancouver Canucks prospect pool has gotten a big boost over to its star power, and I mean that very, very sincerely, because today we're talking about 3 guys, well, mostly 2 guys, but a third guy is also going to be slightly hidden in there as an Easter egg as well. We're talking about Vasili Podkolzin, we're talking about Nils Hoglander, and we're also talking about Dmitry Zlodiev. But I will say the Zlodiev talk for today's video will be a little preview as to what we're going to be discussing later in the next coming days, because I want to talk about Zlodiev a little bit more. So much to the point that I want to make a full video on him and only him, because there's some very interesting developments with the Dmitry Zlodiev prospect profile that we have seen over the past few days, and I wanted to make a video about that separately. But today we're talking about Podkolzin and Hoglander, because Vasili Podkolzin, oh man, I'm jumping up and down because I'm so excited to talk about this. We spoke a few days ago talking about how Vasili Podkolzin at the Karjala Cup was the captain of the U20 team. That's a U20 team playing against other teams that weren't U20. These were adult teams. These were teams like Team Finland, Team Czech Republic, and Team Sweden that had 25, 27, 30-year-old guys. Vasili Podkolzin and his boys were all 20 and below, and Podkolzin was the captain. Podkolzin was one of the best players in the tournament, along with Rodion Amirov getting first-line minutes, power play time, PK time, all that stuff. Podkolzin was great. He was over a point per game. He scored the shootout winner. He got assists like crazy. His ego and the egos of Vancouver Canucks fans were all inflated by watching his performance throughout these games, because my gosh, this guy was good. And it's a contrast to everything we had seen with him in the KHL and, to an extent, I guess, the VHL up to this point. Because Vasili Podkolzin, before going over to captain Russia U20 at the Karjala Cup, was getting played 3 minutes and 52 seconds in the last game that he played against one of the worst teams in the league. He, up until that point, was at a whopping 19 games played with 4 points. He had a goal and 3 assists. Well, what do you know? Because Vasili Podkolzin, coming back over to SKA St. Petersburg of all teams, this is not even the VHL squad, this is the number 1 KHL team, was placed onto the first line, was given 12 minutes of time on ice, and he scored a goal and an assist. Vasili Podkolzin is out here finally getting points and finally getting himself some first-line ice time. He started things off over here with an assist where he had the puck at the top of the slot, the very top of the umbrella over there. He sent it over onto the left side. Interestingly enough, he sent it over to Lyndon Vey. You know Lyndon Vey. I know you're smiling right now. Please wipe that blank-eating grin off your face. Lyndon Vey then took the puck, sent it over back to the other side. A guy shot it and it went in. Vasili Podkolzin with a secondary assist to give SKA St. Petersburg a 4-1 lead over the Vityaz hockey team. Eventually, give it a few more minutes, and then Vasili Podkolzin gets himself a goal where he wraps the puck around himself, pops over out on the far side, and shoots it far side once again, past the goalie who doesn't really expect the puck to go far side. Vasili Podkolzin rebounds up here. He's now up to 6 points in 20 games played. Still not an amazing number, I get that, but Who knows if this is the start of a trend where we see Vasili Podkolzin starting to get more meaningful minutes, starting to get a little bit more puck luck when it comes to the chances, because we've noted how Podkolzin has been playing pretty okay. It's just he hasn't been producing, he hasn't really been played in terms of the ice time. So now, after a stellar performance as one of the best players for Team Russia U20 at the Karjala Cup, he is back with SKA St. Petersburg, and he is doing wonders with 2 points in his returning game. But you know who else had 2 points on his returning game? Hey, let's talk about the other guy over here. It's Nils Hoglander, a guy whom Vancouver Canucks fans have been asking a lot of questions about too, in a similar vein to Vasili Podkolzin, because Nils Hoglander was the second-round pick of the Vancouver Canucks, 40th overall, 2019 NHL Entry Draft, a guy whom a lot of Canucks fans think maybe could be able to make the team day one if he is actually, recalled and given that opportunity, but who really knows? That's a few months out, isn't it? But Nils Hoglander was a guy who earlier in the year he was being plagued and encapsulated by, the monkeys, those things at Chuck E. Cheese's that bang cymbals together? Yeah, that's kind of what I envisioned. That guy had his grasp just absolutely wrapped around Nils Hoglander because Hoglander could not get any points to save his life. He had been playing very well. He had been playing very well defensively. He had been setting up plays. He had been doing so many good things for the Rogla BK over the past few games, the past few weeks, but he couldn't shake the monkey off of his back, man. He couldn't get any points. He couldn't really get that upwards trajectory in terms of the overall hotness of his scoring. But oh boy, he lets that all go here today, because earlier in the Rogla BK schedule, Nils Hoglander went out there, got himself a goal and an assist as well on the same day that Vasili Podkolzin got a goal and an assist. This one was absolutely beautiful, because Nils Hoglander, in the 4-1 win against the Brinosh IF for the Rogla BK, was able to get himself what was the 4th point in a 3-game point streak. Yeah, I left that detail out there because this guy, even though he hasn't been scoring earlier, he's starting to score now, man. He's really getting up there. So, if we go over the totality of Nils Hoglander and his point production, he's at 9 points in 13 games, and that's really good. Don't get me wrong, that's amazing. But 4 of those points came in the last 3 games, 5 of those points came in the last 5 games, so if you remove the previous 5 games, what you have for Nils Hoglander before this period of scoring was 4 points in 8 games, but 4 of those points came in the first 2 games of the season, so he went 6 straight games without getting a point. It's kind of why everybody was like, okay, what's going on? Why is this guy not getting any points, man? Come on, Hoglander, man, get back on the board. But now he's getting back up in there because his first point of the game, oh my goodness. Nils Hoglander takes the puck in on the right side. He stops up, pivots over and shimmy-shammies his way into the middle of the ice on the top of the umbrella, opens up his hips and fakes the shot towards the middle. Then he continues on with his momentum, goes over onto the left side, where he spots an open man on the right with a left-handed shot, poached up and ready for a one-timer, and then goes quickly out to the side for the cross crease, banging in there. My goodness, what a brilliant play by Nils Hoglander. And this is a reflection of a lot of stuff that we've been seeing of Hoglander over the past few games. This guy has been playmaking. This guy has been scoring points now, as of late, not in the previous 6 games that he played before he started scoring again, but he has been doing all of that and more as he comes in later in the game, takes the pass in after they enter the zone. He's in the middle. He's got a shot. He uses it. He goes 5-hole. Boom. 2-point night over there for Nils Hoglander. And my gosh, what was the returning game for Vasili Podkolzin? He ends up getting 2 points. Nils Hoglander cements his SHL point-producing streak over there with another 2-point game. And then Dmitry Zlodiev, Vancouver Canucks prospect, whom we're going to talk about later in the week, also had himself a 2-point game as well for his hockey club over there. He was also playing for the Karjala Cup U20 Team Russia over there, which is very interesting. We did talk about that in the previous video, but we didn't really go into detail because I'm saving all this Zlodiev stuff for a later video we're going to make. But at the end of the day, Thursday, November 12th, it's the day that I'm downloading Cold War on my PS4. I'm going to play that all day tomorrow. This was the best day to be a Canucks fan in weeks, months even. We had nothing to cheer about on the first day of the draft. On the second day of the draft, hey, we got some nice guys in the later rounds. Cool. We then had the free agency period where we really just absolutely, I don't know if I want to say we blew it, but it certainly wasn't happy, I'll say that. So now the prospects are doing well. The guys who we want to start scoring have started scoring, and this is the best time to be a Canucks fan in the past few months. So, talk to me in the comments what you think about the prospects. Maybe I'm getting too overly excited because I just have been so deprived of good Vancouver news in the past few weeks. So tell me if I'm being rational about this. Is it fair? I don't know if it's really all too fair. And if you tell me it's not fair, then, hey, I'll accept that. Talk to me in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed. This is our Trolls 99. And bye.